Recording. I think it is. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for all of your amazing work that you've been sending in so far this week. I've really enjoyed seeing it, and you've been doing such a good job. So keep it up. It's now time for your English lesson. So please join me. All right, so starting today, we're going to start with a punctuation starter, really similar to the one we did last week. So we have to add the missing punctuation to these sentences, and we've got some different choices down here. We've got two full stops, a question mark, and an exclamation mark. So I'm going to read the sentence out loud, and then I want you to pause the video and see if you can tell me or fill in which punctuation is going to go there. So sentence number one. "Oh no, a Gruffalo!" cried the fox, and he ran away. "Oh no, a Gruffalo!" cried the fox. So that big clue, remember last week we talked about looking at how the speaker is saying it, if it's speech, because if they're shouting, then, oh look who decided to come. She really wants to see. Say hello. Are you impressed? Are you impressed with their learning? She is impressed. She just always looks kind of sad. I don't know why. I think she's just tired. But back to our lesson. So we got distracted. When we're looking at something a character says, we want to look at how they're saying it because that gives us a little clue. If they're shouting it, we know that they're going to be probably using an exclamation mark. If they're asking it, then we know that they're probably asking a question. So you might use a question mark. So pause the video and I'll read that sentence one more time just because Stevie distracted us before you pause it. "Oh no, a Gruffalo!" cried the fox, and he ran away. Pause the video and have a guess. Which punctuation do you think we're going to use and where will we use it? All right, welcome back. So let's do this one together then. "Oh no, a Gruffalo!" cried the fox. Cried the fox tells us that he's shouting it or he's exclaiming it. So we're going to use an exclamation mark. And at the end of the sentence, "Oh no, a Gruffalo!" cried the fox and he ran away. That's a regular statement, so we're going to use a full stop. So well done if you're able to spot that. Let's look at the next sentence now. So it says, "What is a Gruffalo?" asked the owl. "What is a Gruffalo?" asked the owl. So pause the video and have a think. What are you going to use and where are you going to put them? And welcome back. So what is a Gruffalo is an example of a question. And for questions, we use question marks. So well done if you're able to spot that. And yes, the word asked is our clue word in that sentence because it tells us how the owl was saying it. He wasn't telling us, he was asking. And at the end of the sentence, we must have a full stop to show that we've gotten to the end of that speaking sentence. So well done. I hope you had a go at that. And we've been practicing that skill a lot lately. So it's important for us to remember that we're looking at how the character is saying the sentence, so we know that gives us a clue about what kind of punctuation we need to use. All right, so yesterday we talked about nouns and verbs, and we said that sentences, a good sentence needs to have a noun or who or what the sentence is about, and it needs to have a verb or an action, so what's happening. So today we're going to have a look at sentences, and we're going to see if we can identify sentences that are complete, which means they're finished, they've got everything they need, or sentences that are incomplete, which means they are missing a part of the sentence. So I can identify nouns and verbs in a sentence. I know a sentence needs a noun and a verb. I can read some sentences on my own. I want you to be using your sounds to pause the video and try and read them yourself today. And I can sort sentences into complete and incomplete. And finally, your top challenge is I can make an incomplete sentence complete, so you can make one yourself. All right, so as a good reminder for us from yesterday, all sentences need a subject, which is a noun. And we said nouns can be people, places, things, or animals. And they also need an action or a verb in order for it to be complete. So an action word that tells us what we're doing. So I went to the beach. I walked to the beach. So who is it about? I, me. What did I do? I walked. Where did I walk? To the beach. So we need to have a noun and a verb in order for a sentence to be complete. So let's have a look at this screen now. And this is really similar to what you were practicing yesterday. So I'm going to read the sentence to you, but then I want you to pause the screen. And if you can write this down, write these sentences down, and then you're going to identify, you're going to circle your nouns and circle your verbs in the sentence. So number 1, the hungry mouse strolled through the woods. Number 2, the frightened owl flew to his treetop house. Number 3, where are you going? Asked the sneaky snake. Where are you going? Asked the sneaky snake. So pause the video and I want you to have a go at that because you can take a picture of it and send it in to me and we'll take it up when you get back. No, thank you. Thank you. All right, so welcome back. I hope you had a go at that. It was really similar to what we did yesterday, so it would show you really good practice if you understood what we were doing. It'll let you know, and we're gonna take it up now. So looking for the nouns in sentence number 1, the hungry mouse strolled through the woods. Remember, nouns are people, places, things, and animals. So the mouse was our animal. That's the subject. That's who the sentence is about. And do you spot any other nouns in the sentence? That's right. We have a place. We have the woods. Fantastic. Now we're going to have a look for our verb. So what was the mouse doing? Remember I said if you're looking for a verb, it's often going to be found near the noun because it tells us what the noun is doing. So we're looking at the mouse. The hungry mouse strolled through the woods. He strolled. He went on a walk. All right, let's have a look at question number 2, or sentence number 2. The frightened owl flew to his treetop house. The frightened owl flew to his treetop house. So looking for our nouns, that's right, owl is an animal, and that is the subject of our sentence. That's who it's about. And any other nouns that you can spot? Right, his house. His house is a thing. You could say it's a place because it's somewhere he's going, but it's also a thing. Now we're looking for the verb. So what was the owl doing? The frightened owl flew. That was his action. That's what he did. To his treetop house. Next step, can you put a nice squiggly line or an underline under the adjectives? That's your next step. So Davina, I'm looking at you. Shania, I'm looking at you. Mariah, I'm looking at you. All of you, I want you to have a go at it. But if I said your name, then you absolutely must have a go at this. Underlining the adjectives, because I'll be looking for that when you send your work in. Where are you going? Asked the sneaky snake. Where are you going? Asked the sneaky snake. So looking for some verbs, or not verbs, sorry, nouns in that. We've got the snake. That's right. Now this is interesting because the snake is the subject of our sentence. It's who the sentence is about, but we don't see it until the end of the sentence. So we're usually used to seeing the noun at the beginning, but we can have it at the end as well. Where are you going? Asked the sneaky snake. So what was the snake doing? He was asking a question. Where are you going? Asked the sneaky snake. So give yourself a pat on the back if you're able to spot even just one of the nouns and if you were able to find the verb. Great. And I can't wait to see when you send your work in if you were also able to spot the adjectives, and I'll give you feedback and let you know. All right, now we're going to have a look at our sorting challenge. So this is our next step on. You can identify the nouns and the verbs now. So now we're going to see, can you sort the sentences below into complete sentences with nouns and verbs, or incomplete sentences, and that means they're missing something. So let's have a look at them together. I see a small cat. I see a small cat. Thumbs up if you think it's a complete sentence. It makes sense and it has everything it needs. Thumbs down if you think it's an incomplete sentence. Ready, set, go. All right. If you thought it was a complete sentence, you are right. The subject is I, or me. And what am I doing? Seeing. I see. And what do I see? A small cat. So we've got some nouns and we've got a verb. We are missing a full stop, but I didn't put the full stops in because I was trying to, well, I didn't want you to see the full stop and then think that the full stop made it a sentence. I wanted you to really be asking yourself about the nouns and the verbs. So that's why I did that. Let's try the next one. We've got fat cat. Fat cat. Is that a complete sentence? Does it have a noun and a verb? Have a think. And when I count you in, I want to see either a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a thumbs in the middle if you're not sure. 3, 2, 1. What do you think? Fat cat. Well, we definitely have a noun. We don't have a verb. So it is an incomplete sentence because we just have a noun. We have a noun and we have an adjective, but we don't have a verb. We don't know what the cat is doing, or we don't know if something's happening to the cat. So we need more information. We need a verb. Let's try this one. The dog. The dog. What do you think? Complete or incomplete? 3, 2, 1. Same as before. We've got a noun. We know that the sentence is about a dog, but we don't have a verb. We don't know what the dog is doing, so it is incomplete. Now we've got something a bit longer. Let's find out. The dog slept on the mat. Or I could say, if I wanted to make it a bit more accurate for right now, the dog slept on the sofa where she wasn't allowed to sit. The dog slept on the mat. What do we think? Do we have a noun? And do we have a verb? 3, 2, 1. Very good, we do. We have the dog. And what was the dog doing? Sleeping. Sleeping naughtily on the mat. Well, I guess if he sleeps on the mat, it's probably not naughty, because that's where they're meant to sleep. So the dog slept on the mat is a complete sentence because it has a noun and a verb. And finally, we have one last little bit down here. Ran away. Ran away. Show me on your fingers. Do you think it's a complete sentence or incomplete sentence? Ran away. That's right. It's incomplete. This time we don't have our noun, but we do have a verb. We know it's doing something. Whatever it is, it ran away. But we don't know what or who is running away. So we're not missing a verb this time. We're missing a noun. Now, I do hope, boys and girls, that you are answering the questions for me when I point to the screen, because I know you would be doing that in school. And I am listening to hear if you're joining in. Well done on your sorting. It's really good practice. We're looking at sentences need to have nouns. They need to have verbs in order for them to be complete. So now here's your big challenge that you're going to try on your own today. These sentences below are incomplete. So there's only part of a sentence. They might have a noun, they might have a verb, but they're missing something else. So I'm going to read the start of the sentence to you. I want you to copy these down on your paper or in your notebook or wherever you do your home learning. And I would like you to finish the sentence. So you can create any sentence you want as long as it makes sense. Number 1, the sly fox. The sly fox, that's your starter. So what is the sly fox going to do? Where is the sly fox doing it? What's going on in that sentence? I want you to be as creative as you can be. And I am looking for verbs, adjectives, adding detail. And absolutely, we will need to have full stops at the end. So you can get really creative. I want to read the best sentences that you can write, and I'm going to be looking at them when you send them in to see who sentences was the most creative. Number 2, in the woods. In the woods. In the woods. What's happening? You get to come up with your own. And number 3, the clever mouse. The clever mouse. What did the clever mouse do? Where was the clever mouse going? Why were they doing it? Your job is to finish the sentence, and remember, verbs, adjectives, add more detail. Tell me where it's happening. Tell me why it's happening. Use that word because. I'm going to put because on the screen, and I'm going to put it in a different color for you. I'm going to put a few important words. Because, and, so are all conjunctions that we're working on using to stretch out our sentences and make them longer. So you can pause the screen and start writing your sentences. I can't wait to see them. I want them to be really creative. And extra bonus points if you can use one of the conjunctions in the box below to help you to stretch your sentence and make it really nice and really detailed. So I cannot wait to read your sentences. Please send them in to the year 1 email address because that is where we receive your work. And remember, you don't have to send your work every single day. I love to see it every single day, but we need to be seeing your work a few times a week. So the teachers are checking, and we are just making sure that everyone's sending in at least 1 or 2 pictures of their work a week. So make sure that you say, if you're sending it to us every day, that's fantastic. That's even better. That's what I love to see. But if you haven't sent anything in yet, please make sure you send it to year1@thepalmeracademy.com, because we are looking for work. We want to see that you're trying your home learning, and just ask an adult to help you with that, and they will be able to help you with sending in a picture of your work. So keep up the good work, and I will see you tomorrow, where we get to start writing our Gruffalo story. So happy sentence writing, year one. Well done.